build new muscles. Yeah, it's a challenge though. I was talking to Eamon this morning. He asked me how I was doing, and I said I'm good. But it's just there's a wave always ready to break because the material is so dense and there's so much of it that it's if I'm not in the courtroom doing it, I'm in my chair learning, learning the next day and learning the day after that. I'm in speeches and the litigation. I didn't understand legal jargon to begin with,
right? And
now every day it's just what the crap does that mean? Like looking it up.
Okay.
But hey, the writing is amazing.
Yeah.
So a lot of our work is done for us.
Okay. How far in are you now? You're shooting
episode 5 already.
Episode 5.
I can't believe it. I think we're in episode 5 already. When we started a little later than the other shows, and they were on episode 5. And I was just looking at them, going, "How you guys doing? Like, how's it feel?" And they just said, "We're in some blank."
Tell us a bit about the character that you play. And
I play Peter Stone,
yeah,
who is the assistant state's attorney, Cook County, underneath Carl Weathers' character, Mark Jeffries. This is Anna Valdez, or it's Monica.
Yeah, you're gonna confuse. Excuse me. I kick you while I get in. Hello.
Hello.
You were just telling us your character.
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
so I'm going to steal a minute.
I'm going to steal a
Yeah, absolutely. Just all put mints
My
now,
coffee
so
breath. I'd like to tell you about. So I play Pete Stone, who is the son of Ben Stone.
Yes.
From Law and
Very
Order.
excited.
So did I.
I just learned that.
No, I knew. For a week.
I learned it too.
Now I got to eat this mint.
That's really. How many questions for me?
2 minutes for me, my
We
mint.
were going to get to you.
While he's chewing. While he chews. Tell us about Anna Valdez.
Wintergreen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just found out your character's movie.
Tastes like high school.
Yes. Yeah. It wasn't really, I guess, being circulated for a minute.
Really?
But yeah, it's not on IMDb. I'm an assistant state's attorney.
Yeah, that's all
you.
Yeah,
You're
like
just-
I look like a featured
I play
extra,
ASA.
that's a great role, but
Oh, well done.
I've done it myself. However,
So who are you playing?
Anna Valdez.
That was awesome. That was
Yes,
awesome.
an assistant state's attorney. His second chair. Apparently, I worked in a different county. It was a lateral hire, which is not very common because Cook County only hires their own clerks and lawyers from appeal court, all of that. So I guess he was impressed by something and hired me. And we, it's in the beginning of the season. We are sort of kind of trying to figure each other out.
Yeah.
I make some mistakes.
Which is great for the real
Doesn't tell
show
it.
because we were actually trying to figure each other out.
Yeah, it was perfect. We saw
like,
that
"Who are you?"
immediately, and we were like, "Oh, good, we have some time, so we don't have to like figure out how to look like we've been working together for 5 years."
When we realized that you were a new hire for the show, not
Yes.
just like in the show.
Yeah,
No, that
well,
helped.
both really. So yeah.
So we hear that he's kind of intense, his character's kind of intense, and maybe sort of goes off because he gets some tunnel vision.
I do get a little something.
He does get
about
tunnel
finding
vision.
the truth or whatever, you know?
Yes.
So is your character going to sort of be there to say, mellow out a little bit?
Yeah, she has zero authority to tell him to mellow out.
But she does.
But she's they're definitely butting heads, and she's trying to do it in other ways. And you see that right off the top, and it has not subsided. I don't know if it ever will.
Right. No, I think it's what makes these characters fun to watch.
Yeah, that
'Cause
they
they
have
agree to
that
disagree a lot.
tension. Yeah, because there's no romance story or anything like that, but they have to have some kind of dynamic going, and I think it works really well to tell the story of any legal case too, because there is so much of that tension and what's right and wrong, and so it
We
plays
believe
out really
different
well.
things in the same case. Whether we believe, maybe that they did do it or they didn't do it, and we're still on the same side, but we've got to get that across and get our version of that across.
Yeah.
And Philip said he had a lot to come up to speed to learn all the jargon and everything else.
Oh,
So
my
what
gosh.
about you? Are you familiar
With
with
jargon?
this world? Or?
I mean, I grew up watching Law and Order, and I love legal shows, mostly political satire. But I mean, knowledge of the language, though, probably only goes so far as to understand objections and what those meant, and what a witness could and couldn't really get away with, and what the lawyer asking questions, that kind of thing. But it was fairly limited.
One thing we've certainly like kind of taken from this already in episode 5 is that we've looked at each other and said, just you don't get caught. Like, do not end up in this situation, because it is so about your lawyer and about the words and about, like, we were just like, just don't get caught, man. It's like,
I'm gonna remember
it's
that.
a big deal. Like, do not get caught.
Now, don't do it.
You don't want to be in that situation.
Don't get caught.
Just don't get caught.
Don't do it.
Don't get caught.
How is the show different from other legal shows that have come before for you?
Wow, that's
Well,
a
we
great
don't
question.
have the dun-dun, which is a
Okay.
big issue.
We don't have the guitar solo in the beginning, which really sucks.
Or the mom.
Look, I actually think the things that are similar is what makes it good. We are like our father show, Law and Order. We have our lead investigators who go out, who grab the stuff, who bust some heads if they need to, and they give us the information, we put it together, and we present it to the court. And it sort of follows that same format. Now, just like Law and Order again, this stuff is very culturally relevant. The first 4 episodes that we finished now, I mean, you could air them anytime over the last 18 months and they would be right on the nose. And so that's great. It's a challenge for us. It's a responsibility for us, because unlike stuff I've done in the past where, you jump out of helicopters and punch people in the face, this stuff actually really does matter. And it's,
I love that image.
I think that boom. And I was fortunate enough to see how the work that you did mattered to certain people. Like we did a show that it hit with our armed forces and law enforcement and things like that. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. This stuff matters to these people, and to find those hooks in the show to give it back to them. And this is the same way in this show. There are things in this show which you can see are really going to hang on people and really matter. And it's going to piss a lot of people off too, but I think that's good TV. If half the audience hates it and half the audience likes it, I think that's good television.
Well, your first or second episode is the Northern Illinois University where you shot?
Yeah.
Has to do with like a Muslim
Self-radicalization. Yeah, that's our first episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's big right off the bat. And, the way that it's delivered from the defense attorney and the way that we're prosecuting is both sides. You can go, yeah, I can see that.
Well, and we had some downtime in the courtroom one of those days, and we turned around and we were talking with some of the people that were sitting in our gallery, our lovely background artists, and one woman told us about how she was standing in a, 7-Eleven or something, and the guy standing behind her was like, go back to your country.
A Muslim
she was,
woman,
a Muslim woman wearing a hijab. And someone said, go back to your country. And it's just like...
She was like, I'm a second-generation Chicagoan. I was born here.
Yeah, and you'll see within the story, too, that we tackle several sides of that. It's not just about where the case is going. You see several sides of the prejudice and how that affects people. And I think what makes our show different is that, there are a lot of legal shows that I've loved that don't necessarily have the accuracy that our show does. I mean, there's definitely, every show has its nuances here and there, you know, for story appeal. But I was speaking with 2 friends of mine last night who work for a private law firm, and they were saying that Law and Order had, it was the most accurate legal show because we have lawyer writers and because they care to talk to experts.
Right.
What was it like meeting Dick Wolf for the first time? What's his...
Well, the first time it was terrifying because we were talking about the possibility of me doing this job.
Right, okay.
And I remember, the conversation sort of went along the lines of him saying, I don't know if you're the right guy, and me saying, I don't know if I'm the right guy.
Right.
And then him saying, well, maybe let's just give it a shot. And it was like, well, and I went, here's Dick Wolf, what am I going to say to you? Of course, let's give it a shot.
Right.
And he's the most straight, for as big of a producer as he is, for as prolific as he is, for the amount of work that he's done, he is such a straight shooter, and he gave it to me straight, and he said, look, let's give it a shot. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll wipe our hands and move on. But it did work, and so here we are. And he's so involved in these shows. He'll come to set, he'll drop a little note and just change a scene. I mean, there's no reason why he has to be involved. He could walk away, absolutely walk away and go, I've done it, I've done my work, I've set up these amazing shows, and now I'm going to let them live. But he's involved. He reads the script. He wants to affect characters. He wants to affect the public, and that's the mark of someone who cares. And that's why he's so good at what he does, because he genuinely cares.
My introduction to him, without meeting him yet, was in his office. Can I do 1 second, Monica? Was in his office for a chemistry read, and I was like, this looks like a small state's attorney's office.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Like, he's got it decked out. I mean, he is such a fan of this kind of world. You know, he's got it. He's got the chair and the bookshelves with volumes, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, this is amazing. I was so excited. I tried to calm myself, but
Which cast member was the first to go into the courtroom set and scream, "You can't handle this"? or
I think we all gave
"You're
it a
out of
bash.
order."
Yeah, I think we all gave it a bash. I think that first day on set, we were like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
You talk about Dick Wolf being involved, and it sounds like his idea was to kind of bring Seda over. So,
Right.
did he start with you guys at episode 1, or did he come in John? Or
With John coming
Yeah.
in, it was, I think he knew he was going to do it in our crossover episode with PD, but he didn't tell us about it. And actually, or John. I was sitting at Upfronts talking with Dick Wolf, and Seda walked by, and Dick said, "Excuse me," and he went off and literally in that moment told John. And I saw, out of the corner of my eyes, kind of saw this conversation happening, and he sort of had his arm, his arm on him, and he said, and I could see that John was like really taken aback by what he was telling me. And then John and I met at, we had like a glass of wine at the bar later on just by accident. I came down and he was there with his son, and I was down there with my wife, and I could see he was kind of shell-shocked, but he didn't let on at all. And he was like, "Oh, well, it'll be fun, we'll see you over there in Chicago." And then I learned a week later that he was coming over to the show. So it's pretty cool. It was a neat moment.
that's amazing. But we did have to keep it a secret for a while, which was kind of torture.
I guess not
Well, that's
today.
hard because that's May, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's
it came
fine.
out, and that was like, whoo, we can talk about it now.
Do you get to do any? I hear you get in a fight in the first episode. We
Well-
didn't think you would get any action.
Well,
both
I
did.
got like a
Both
push.
sort of do. It's a
You get more of
It's
a fight
maybe
than
not
I do.
compared to what your previous shows have done, helicopters and punching, but it's pretty big for a courtroom.
It is a scuffle.
Yeah, and I'm a part of it too. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, totally. We were
We're
totally
like-
out of order.
Yeah, it's all out of
Trying to bring some order back.
We hear you have a lot of big speeches too.
Oh, bro. Yeah, that's a muscle too. I've realized like that brain, and it's coming easier than it did in the beginning, but it's always there. Like that wave is always ready to crash over the top of you because it's just there's so much of it.
Every opening closing argument is a monologue.
Yeah.
And
it's usually
hugely important.
you finish an episode in the courtroom and you start an episode. You finish with the closing argument, and then you start with the opening argument, and that's 48 hours of just 16 pages of dialogue.
And then all the camera angles, so you've basically
Yeah, you
said it
do
like
it.
50 times by the end of the day.
Like saying tapioca 100 times, and by the end of it, you're
It's
like,
not words.
it's not words.
This isn't real.
So my big takeaway from all this is make sure I've got the right lawyer.
Yep.
Yes.
Don't get
Make sure you
caught.
got the right. Don't get caught first.
Yeah.
Don't get caught. No, you didn't say don't get caught. You said make sure you got the right lawyer.
Yeah, then make sure you got the right, lawyer. If you have to mortgage it all, get the right lawyer.
Okay. What's been your big takeaway from the show?
That's my big takeaway.
That
I
is
sit in that
yours as
courtroom
well.
every day and I listen to the defense attorney and I think about my speech and I go, I'd sell the kid if it'll get me on. No, I wouldn't do
Never
that.
sell his kid.
That's a total lie.